the San Diego Spotlight, where we shine a light on the most interesting and influential business leaders around San Diego County and the world, and inform and empower you as a citizen of our lovely community. I am your host, Elizabeth Story, bringing you the inside story. Today's guests are helping to give back to our veterans and our first responders, not only in San Diego County, but actually on a global level. They are the first to offer a global marketplace for veterans and first responders, allowing them to shop online and receive some incredible discounts, not like any other company that you've seen or heard of. I'd like to welcome to the show Mr. Mark Van Buskirk, CEO, Managing Director, and founder of GovX, and Mr. Phil McConkey, member of the board, two-time New York Sports Emmy winner, and former Charger and Giants player. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Great being with you.
Yes, thanks for being here. You know, this is so exciting, and there's nothing better than giving back, and I can tell that you two are so passionate about what you're doing and giving back to the people who put their lives on the line every day for our community. So I'd like to start off by letting our listeners know a little bit more about your background. I mean, I know I touched on it, but let's start with you, Mark. What inspired you to go into this line of work, and how have you made it so successful?
Well, Elizabeth, thank you for having us. Actually, GovX was born from the work that I had done with Oakley. I was with Oakley for 25 years as the founder of their military and government sales and distribution division. My company was sold back to Oakley, and I left to become one of the founders at GovX. And we just felt that we could bring a global marketplace of brands to those that protect and serve.
And I bet that experience at Oakley was, instrumental in helping you have all these distribution channels that you've set up.
Absolutely. I mean, it allowed me to, I never served, but I got to travel the world because of Oakley, meeting with military in service and those that have retired. I got to see many of my friends deploy and their families that were left behind. And through what I had built for Oakley, we just felt that these men and women deserve to have the very best, and that's what GovX is bringing to them in product and services.
I'm sure it's well received and well appreciated. I know you have already over 1 million verified members, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. And how about you, Phil? What made you so passionate about helping?
Well, I think from my background being a veteran, my father is a retired police officer from Buffalo, New York. I met Mark and his partners a few years ago, and I really applauded the initiative that they were taking to help all those that basically lay their lives on the line every single day or have done so in the past or their past lives. So to be able to reward those kind of people that sacrifice so much for all of us, I thought it was so admirable, and I'm fortunate that they asked me to get involved with the company to be able to go salute some of the finest people you'll ever meet in your life when you think about our military and our veterans.
Absolutely. So let's let everyone know who hasn't heard about it. What is it, and what can you buy there?
Sure. GovX is, I call it a global marketplace. GovX and GovX.com. GovX.com is the website. And it was a site that's built for those that protect and serve. So on the military side, it's all active duty. It's all veterans, retired and reserve. And on the government side, it's federal, state, and local. Police, fire, FBI, DEA, Secret Service are just some of the examples. And what we've brought to them is essentially it's a restricted website. So it's not a flash sale site. It's a site that brings them everything from tactical products, and our tagline at GovX is Life After Work. So everything from a Benchmade knife to a Nash stand-up paddleboard you can find on GovX. And there's so much more as we get deep into this that we're doing with the NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, and others.
That's great. So again, I want to reiterate, you can buy everything from toiletries to NFL tickets, survival gear, food, you name it, it can be found there. And I want to reiterate, it's not a flash sale. It's not some club that you pay a bunch of money to join. I like what you said before we came on air. Your payment was your service.
Your payment is your service.
That's right.
And if you have served or are serving, you can be part of GovX. And we're truly the only one that's out there that has built this type of a global marketplace where there's great discounts out there for senior citizens. There's great discounts out there for students. And sure, you know, that's all worthy. but nobody truly built, I go back to always saying the word global marketplace for those that protect and serve, those that have really laid their life on the line, because we understand at GovX, if it wasn't for the men and women in uniform, we wouldn't even have the opportunity to bring GovX to life. We wouldn't even have the opportunity to be sitting here discussing it with you on radio today. It's all because of these men and women that we have these opportunities. So our manufacturers agree with us that if it's not those in the military or those that are protecting and serving, then who should it be that gets the very best pricing on products?
Absolutely. So there's a unique verification process that you have, but it's also quite simple. Well, what is involved in that process?
Well, it's very simple, and the best part, it's free. There's no membership other than your service. That's your membership that you have served or you are serving. You simply go to GovX.com, you follow the prompts to register, you provide to us identification, and there's a number of ways to do that. If you're a veteran like Phil, who served quite a few years ago, he has a DD-214 that he can submit that as verification. So there's a number of different ways, but the verification process takes just a couple minutes, and again, it's free.
Yeah, I think a big key here is, as Mark said, all those that serve and protect. I spent 9 years, if you include the 4 at the Naval Academy, 5 years active duty, so I am not, quote, retired from the military. My father served 20 years as a Buffalo police officer. So we don't have, people like us, veterans, don't have access. Everybody thinks, oh, you served, you can go onto the base and partake in the great discounts at the different base exchanges, which are having some issues of their own currently, but we don't have those privileges. GovX is rewarding all of those of us that don't have that access and are being rewarded for things we did decades ago. My dad retired 20, 30 years ago from the Buffalo Police Force, and he's saying, wait a minute, they're going to thank me and I can go on the site and get a discount on things I'm already buying. So it makes all of these special people feel special, and that we are being rewarded for something, in some cases, that we did decades ago. So that's really a special feature of this program.
There should be no time limit on saying thank you for risking your life. And it's important what you just said, because as a civilian, I didn't know the true definition of retired in the military. So understanding that, if you haven't served a full 20 years, then you don't get access to those exchanges. And that's why something like this is new. It's the first of its kind. It's revolutionary.
You made a great point when you think about there's no time limit on saying thank you. When you look back at some of the Vietnam veterans, the Vietnam era veterans that came back, and forget about getting a thank you, they were being spat upon. It was awful. So for GovX to be able to reach out to that community, that constituency, and say thank you for what you did, I think it's so meaningful, especially to the people that served in the military back then.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about your product line. I went on to your site, and there's hundreds of products. Do you have an exact count?
I actually don't, because it's growing rapidly. We have brands calling us every day, essentially. We have probably 50 to 70 brands in the queue at any one time waiting to come on to GovX. It's everything, as I say, from tactical to practical. From Nixon watches to SOG knives to Benchmade to Mophie cases. It's a lot of people would want to say Amazon, but I think we do so much more than Amazon. Actually, our pricing is better than Amazon too, because nothing goes up on GovX unless we know we have the best price on planet Earth for that product that's going up there. But our customer service is stellar. We know who our customer is, and we will go the extra mile every day, all day long, to take care of these men and women. And
that's one of your founding principles, is that you want to offer the best merchandise at the best prices with the best customer service.
Right. We're not looking to offer everything. We're offering to look to, actually, we go back to two things. We look at unique and discoverable brands, and we look at aspirational brands. An aspirational brand might be a Luminox watch, a SEAL Team watch. They can't afford it, but on GovX they can. A Nash stand-up paddleboard, very expensive. They can't afford it, but on GovX they can. So aspirational and unique and discoverable are two really big buzzwords around the office at GovX.
I think what's really unique too about brands that come aboard, the company is so careful to make sure that every brand that comes aboard, they are offering discounts that even these military and all those that serve and protect cannot find anywhere else. We're not replicating a discount that a service member or veteran or those that serve and protect can get on their own. This is special. And if they don't want to offer that, the brand partners, well, thank you. We'll see you down the road.
So that's a big deal, and I want to reiterate that. This is a special, unique, you can only find the discount here, and you can only get access to the products if you've been verified as a veteran or a first responder. And so, I mean, again, it's revolutionary. It's the only one like it. What are some of your biggest sellers right now as we come into the holidays?
Oh, Lifeproof Cases does very well. Beats by Dr. Dre does very well. Nixon watches do very well. Tactical brands do very well. And that's what's really neat about GovX as well. We want to make sure that man or woman that is in uniform, their day is taken care of with the products that are on GovX. But my vision also with GovX was when it's a weekend or when it's their time off and the uniform comes off and they have time to go spend with their families or go do what they like to do, whether it's hike a mountain or go surf, whatever it is, they can come and find products for them for their life after work.
So I'm going to just read a few products that were listed on your website. And again, this is for both men and women. Okay, they have a lot of top brands. They have clothing, gear, tickets, tech accessories, and that's even gaming, audio, surveillance, like I said, grooming, nutritional supplies, books, watches, shoes. I mean, you really can find just about anything you're looking for.
I think at this point, as a member, my wife understands that before we spend a dime on any product, we go to GovX first. And there's going to be a time when everything we need we can get at a major discount on GovX. So unless you don't like money, unless you don't like competing and getting a great discount, you need to go to GovX.
I have one question though. What do you do if you're the wife and you didn't serve? How do you shop for your husband on GovX who did serve?
No, that's a great question. But as the spouse, you're able to opt in. As a member, you can opt in your spouse.
Okay.
So it's awesome that the husband can opt in his wife, or if the wife is serving, she can opt in her husband.
She might not want to opt him in.
No, that's a really good. I'm glad that because I was very curious about that, and especially again, we've got the holiday season upon us. You don't want your husband to know what you're buying for him, so how do you do it secretly?
and again, that gets back to, what are we really building? We're building a center for the entire family. We have kids' products as well. Sector 9 Skateboards is a big brand on GovX, because we wanted to also make sure that if that man or that woman was deployed and they wanted to make sure that their son or their daughter received something for their birthday, they could go to GovX, they could order it, and we can have it shipped right to their home back here stateside.
That's great. So anywhere in the world. And then you touched on this a little bit. So basically you function as a drop shipper. So you're the gateway.
Correct.
For them.
Yeah.
So it just goes direct manufacturer to door. And
that is so important because that verifies the authenticity of the product. You're getting it directly from the manufacturer. So we're as much a technology company as we are a marketplace for products, because we have to have the ability to send all this information out to these manufacturers that are all around the country. They grab their information or their orders, they drop ship directly to the customer. The customer receives tracking information, we receive tracking information. It always gets back to that customer service side, where we want to provide the very best customer service so that customer can call us directly. We know what was shipped, when it was shipped, we have their tracking information. So it's really an exciting technology that we've built as well to support the brands to get the products to the customer. Absolutely.
And like we said, coming into this, you have over 1 million users.
1.5 million today.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
How have you reached such a wide audience?
Well, I mean, we've got a great team. We have a great team. We attend 25 to 30 military and government trade shows every year. We have a big presence on social media. And then we have great agreements with the NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL. If you go to a Charger game this Sunday against the Broncos, you'll see GovX up on the scoreboard.
All right.
And we got a lot of very happy members, and word of mouth is probably our best source of members, is people that have had great experiences on GovX, buying great products at great discounts. They tell their friends, their fellow police officer, or their mate aboard ship, and it's grown from there.
Absolutely. Everybody listening, I hope you're going to be referring somebody right this minute. I'm here with Mark Van Buskirk, CEO, Managing Director, and founder of GovX. You can find them online at govx.com or give them a call at 888-468-5511. Phil McConkey also joined us in studio today. He is a former Charger, a former Giant, and a member of the board at GovX, also a veteran. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the product line and the things that they're doing over at GovX. Stay tuned.